Hey guys, I want to show you my new hat I got today. I am very impressed with it. Usually these things would be so expensive, but I found it at Disney Springs nonetheless. Props to Disney. Now I can finally go to events and have a really cool hat. I've always wanted one of these. So the reason for today's video, oh, I guess I'm just wearing it. We're gonna wear this through the video. But today's video is basically just to explain why you guys should be buying instead of renting. Like, okay, I understand the basis of renting, right? And it's great for a short amount of time. But overall, if you are a renter, you should be buying and you should be making plans to buy ASAP. And don't use the excuse, oh, well, the market's just really bad, because that is just, no. Because it's still really bad for renting too. And I mean, have you seen the rent prices? You guys are paying 10 times the amount that a home buyer is paying every single month. Maybe not 10 times, but you're probably paying about 600 plus every single month, depending on where you live and the type of home, number of beds, baths, compared to the homeowner who's only paying, maybe $1,000, up depending on their home. I know some homeowners that bought a house for $200,000 and they put a nominal amount down, and they ended up only having like an $800 a month payment. So buying a home, much more reasonable than renting. And I say this with so much kindness in my heart, and I'm trying to be as sweet as possible, but there's no way like sweet to go about this, because I mean, what is the benefit of renting? And don't get me wrong, because I'm a landlord and an owner and an investor, but like honestly, I'm a broker too. So I just want you guys to understand that you could become an owner investor overnight practically if you have a good credit score. And not even like your credit score is going to stop you if you know the right person, because personally I was able to purchase a house when my score was like really shitty. And don't tell anybody, I mean, I'm putting this on the internet, so go ahead and tell whoever you want, but I wasn't supposed to buy a house until I had a 620 FICO score, and I bought it way before. My score was so down in the dirt because I got hit with like a tornado and a couple blizzards. I didn't have renter's insurance, so my score took a hit for a couple years. And I still bought a house. I put 20% down, but I still bought a house. So if you have money and your credit score is an issue, I can make that possible. I can make you buying a home very easy. And I mean, if you have a 580 score, you can even get FHA, because I have lenders that are FHA, no overlays. So 580 scores, 3% down, you're putting as much down as a rental for buying a home. Like, I just don't understand it. The logistics don't make sense to me. And if you need a down payment, the states and the cities, they have down payment assistance programs. There's even some loans available for assistance for FHA loans and down payment assistant programs. Like, there are so many options. So like, you making an excuse of why you're not buying a house, I have a solution for it. So I guess I'm just wondering, why aren't you guys buying houses? Is it, like, yes, the market's hot, but there's no sight of it stopping at all. And there's going to be a correction, you know what I'm saying? Like, I assume that there's going to be a correction, but I just don't see a huge market crash coming anytime soon. And by the time that the crash comes, maybe in a few years, couple years, I don't know, I'm not a future teller, fortune teller, whatever they're called, but by then the prices are going to be where they are today, potentially, and or you're going to be so much further in like this hole of paying somebody else's like equity that it just is a wish wash. So those excuses for the market, it just doesn't make sense to me, so if you guys are thinking about buying a house and you're a renter, right, it's totally possible. You can do FHA, you can do down payment assistance programs. I can get you guys approved if you have a little bit less on your credit, in the sense of like your score. If it's under 580, I could probably get you approved. If you have good income and nominal down payment, there are so many options out there for subprime people. If you are self-employed and you're having a hard time getting a loan, I can help you. Like, there's so many options. There's so many options out there, and I know the route to almost all of them, because when I went into real estate, I was coming from more of a subprime aspect and an investment aspect, that I kind of got a front row seat on the more non-typical ways of getting financing. And then in addition, I'm also a part of multiple private lending groups, so it's just kind of like, I'm aware. And there's just so many options available to you guys that there's no reason to not buy a house. And real estate has always been an amazing leverage tool. This is great. These the PD light things, except for this one's the store brand, because I'm cheap as fuck. But there is just so many awesome ways to go about it. And if you're creative, right, like you want to get into investing now, you can go and get an FHA loan, get approved for, let's say, $400,000. You can get a multifamily property. You can charge rent out of the other unit, and then you don't even have to pay for your mortgage every single month. There's so many creative ways to do it. You could buy a single family house, and if you have enough money after you buy your house, then you can go and build an accessory dwelling unit, which is also called an ADU. There is so many options out there for you guys to kind of conflict the monthly payments and to come up with your down payment. You can accept a gift from your family member or from your spouse, and it's so able to happen. And I think a lot of people get discouraged at the beginning, and like when I first got into home buying as a first-time home buyer, I was so discouraged, so discouraged, and I could not for the life of me find the courage to go and just make the right steps. And I stayed still for multiple years renting, and I was just so miserable renting. It's so annoying to have a person looming over you, telling you what to do. And I'm saying this as a landlord, like, come on guys, let's just be honest. There's no one, and any investor or landlord owner will say this plain out, that's being honest. Renting is a temporary solution, okay? And if you've already gone through the process of it, there's no reason to continue on if you're able to qualify to buy your own house, because you should be building your own equity and then learning how to leverage your equity to then purchase another property, and then to just rent it out or flip it, or to just keep on rolling that leverage. You know what I'm saying? So don't let doubts or discouragement get in your way, because home buying is better than renting always. And if you have to rent for another year, by all means, but at least get started. And I mean, if you're in Florida or New Jersey, call me, because I can help you guys get started. I can connect you to multiple lenders that you can choose from, like introduce you to so many programs that are available to you to help get you started. And it's just like a part of my normal day-to-day tasks, and I don't mind doing it. So don't feel discouraged. Now, if you're buying your first investment property before you've ever purchased your first primary residence, right, you're going to have to end up putting about 20% down. There are some programs available out there that I'm connected to that's 10% down, and I'm saying it's actually an investment 10% down. There's a lot of people who would tell you, oh, you just have to put 3% down. No, that's bullshit. That's called fraud. That's literally mortgage fraud, more than likely, because if they tell you it's a conventional, then that's just mortgage fraud. But I have private sources for investors that can do as little as 10% down per deal and per investor, and kind of like it's a big speculative variable aspect, but you can get as little as 10% down. And I do have lenders that can do holdings at 4% interest, I want to say 4 to 5%. depending on the day, because those interest rates, they change daily. And I mean, even for private mortgages, I have in Florida, there are some private lenders that will do for your primary, it's 10 to, I want to say like 10% to 12%. And then for investments, there are balloons available. A balloon mortgage is when you basically pay the interest only for a couple years, and then you pay or refinance your property in like 3 years or 5 years or whatever you and your lender decide. It has to be a minimum of 6 months, but you can decide later on how long you want the loan for. So, I mean, DM me, because, there's many options available to you guys, and I feel so sad when I'm watching you guys have like 800 credit scores and you're still renting and you have perfect income, you're like a perfect homeowner, and you just are choosing to go and rent because it's more simple. But in reality, like, it's not simple, because what's the difference in paying, so much money and then just having your own home with less rules and restrictions? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, freedom above non-freedom of choice, I guess. That's just me personally. And like, by all means, don't take this video too harshly, because if you prefer to rent, then that's completely okay. But ultimately, if you, like, even if you decide to rent and become an investor, like, great. But just to begin your path forward, I highly recommend being a homeowner. It completely changed my life personally. Like, when I was renting, I was doing good, I was doing okay, but then when I became a homeowner, it's like my life did a lot better. And that's like not a massive guarantee. I'm just giving you my own personal experience. Like, I don't know if it was a mindset change, I don't know if it was just a freedom thing, I don't know. But for me, becoming a homeowner was just a great, fantastic experience. I love being able to just do whatever I want with my house. I can have as many pets as I want. Like, I only have a cat, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to go to Petco today, I don't have to call someone and say, hey, can I please go and get a fish? Like, no. And then I don't have to see if I'm going to get charged additional rent or my mortgage just because I went and got like a new kitten. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a thing. And I mean, insurance will cover perils and liability issues, theft, depending on what you guys end up deciding on getting for your policy. So, I mean, you have so many options and so many routes to help protect you as a homeowner. And if you're a first-time homeowner and you're going FHA, you can always buy a more turnkey property. And what turnkey means is, it just means that you are buying a property where you can stick the key into the door and turn it, and you don't have to do anything once you step inside. Okay, the difference between a turnkey property and a value-add property is, a value-add property, if you turn the key and you step inside, there's a lot of value you have to add into the property. So turnkey, no repairs. Value-add, lots of repairs, or minor repairs, or just repairs. So you guys, I literally serve all of New Jersey and all of Florida, and I have people that are on the ground that do some of my showings when I can't open the door. I do all of my negotiations, all the technicalities, everything all the time. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. I have inspectors, I have literally contacts to architects, I have contractors, everything and anyone. So my phone number is 201-952-4665. You guys can also comment on my videos, or text me, or call me, or email me. My email's on the description, on the bottom or top, depending on where I'm posting this. And by all means, I'm a licensed broker in Florida. Sorry, I get so excited now that I get to say that. So I hope to see you guys and speak to you soon. And any questions at all about homeownership, please contact me. I specialize in residential and anything that has to do with investing into real estate in the sense of landlord-tenant, and I am so happy to be able to help you guys however I can. Speak soon, and I hope you guys learned something from this. Please remember to like and subscribe if you learned anything, and I thank you so much for all of your supports. Peace.